Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna and today we're going to be working on a 8 by 10 multimedia canvas. So some artwork for our walls. And I have an array of different items on my work surface. If I use them, then I will go through what I did to them or what I'm using. If I'm not going to go through everything I have on my desk because I always grab a bunch of things and then pull from that what I decide to do at the time. As I start layering and things start coming together, then I can see what I would like to add to that or what I would not like to add to that. So we are starting with a 8 by 10 canvas. Now this is a 2-pack from Hobby Lobby. So it said the price was $2.99. Now I don't know if they've raised their prices on those or not, but when I purchased this, I got it for, I'm guessing probably $1.50 because I would probably wait to see. Well, these ones might not go 50% off, but anyway, so real good price. So even if it's $2.99, you paid about $1.50 a piece for them. So are they the high quality canvases? No, but they're perfect for a project like this, where you're going to be using multiple mediums to do. So now underneath, because this is flexible, I don't want to stretch my canvas, so I have placed an item which just happens to be a Sizzix die that will allow me to press on this and not have to worry about it. Now, prior to this, I prepped some things. So I used some gesso to seal my canvas. I then took some 3D matte gel. Now this is clear or transparent. There's tons of different brands out there. Whatever you prefer, and if you're just getting into it, buy one that's a little less expensive, and try it before you spend a ton of money. This just happens to be a Finnabar brand, and so it's Prima. So it's pretty good. And so what I did was I took a stencil. I set all my things aside here. This just happens to be a Tim Holtz stencil. And I used this one. So it ends up kind of looking like giraffe or crocodile skin or something. So it's just a nice textured element. So I did that. I'm going to lift this so you can see it. So I did that here in this area here, and I did it here. So I'm just going to do a sample for you so you can see how that works. So let me just grab a scrap piece of something here. I'll just use the back of my card. I'll open my gel. I'm going to grab a palette knife of some type. This is just my Cricut one. You can use regular palette knife. And then I want to grab my stencil. Lost my train of thought. Okay. So now make sure you're ready to clean this off right away as soon as you're done so nothing ruins your stencil. So what I do is I just grab some, and I didn't use the whole thing because I didn't want the square marks. So you can just go in however you want to do it. And I just kind of press it down, holding the stencil in place a little bit, getting it underneath, getting it on there without trying to go underneath. So just something similar to that. You pull up your stencil and you have that. Now this will dry transparent. Some are clear, some are transparent. So let me get my paper towel here. Here we go. Wipe my palette knife off. And then I'm going to run real quick and throw this in the sink of water because I didn't grab myself a bucket. Right back. typically I have a little bucket or something here I can just put it in so I don't have to, but I could get back into doing these videos again and getting back into the swing of things. So that's how that works. Now, addition to that, I'm going to throw that away so I don't put my hand in it. I have these Finnabar, so Prima Marketing art stones, and they are like kind of like foam, but they're colored stone color, and they're just really light. They're just they've got to be some type of foam or something, I'm guessing, but they're kind of stone colored. They've got some type of sealer or gesso or something on them, I'm guessing. So I used my 3D matte gel and I spread some of that on there, sprinkled some of the stones on there, kind of patted them in a little bit to make sure they were stuck, and then let them dry. Now, prior to this, I left these plain so you could see what they look like. Prior to coming today, I have used some of my heavy gesso, my white heavy gesso, also by Finnabar, which is a Prima Marketing product. And I've covered everything with the heavy gesso except for these stones. We're going to do that together just because of drying time. I didn't want to have to sit here and allow everything to dry. So I'm going to put some of that on there. That should be plenty. I'm going to grab my paintbrush, and we will dry this. So I'm just going to get this all kind of mixed in there. And you don't have to do this, but it makes a nice sealant just so they don't, you know, suck up all your paint and stuff. Makes everything kind of neutral. There we go. I'm pushing it in there so it doesn't look like it's. There we go. So like I said, I've done everything else on this except for these. So we're just going to get those done. That'll help adhere them in there. And no matter what we do, they'll have their gesso on them. All right. So I'm going to put this in a glass of water. And I'm just going to grab my dryer here a second. And I'm going to dry that. In the meantime, I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit so that it's a little quieter for you. So, let me do that a second. Okay, so hopefully that was a little quieter for you. I'll set that aside. All right, so those are the products I use for that. Now that's still got a little dampness in there. I'm not going to worry about that. The other thing I have done was I used my new Tim Holtz butterfly die, and this thing is big. It's 6 1/4 wide by 5 1/4 high, so a nice size. And I do not see the package for that, which I thought I left out purposely, but it's his newest one. Now I do die cuts, and I sell the die cuts on eBay. I will, if you don't want to buy the die and you just want some of the die cuts, I will leave a link in my description below to my eBay where you can purchase these if you like. I offer them in 4 different colors and $4, and I believe the shipping is like 75 cents for three of them. So there's the white, the cream, the craft colored, and of course black. So I started with the whites, and what I did was I took my Tim Holtz Distress Sprays, and I used these two, which just get it shook up there. You can see that they've separated a little bit. I used peacock feathers and cracked pistachio. Now, I sprayed with the cracked pistachio first and then spritzed it with the peacock feathers. And I came up with this pretty color here. Okay. Then I used my Perfect Pearls Mist Turquoise. And I'm hoping you can pick up. Can you see the glittery effect that gave that? So that was sprayed on top of that. All right. In addition to that, these are Prima flowers. They were just black and white like this. And I took them and did the same thing, sprayed them the same way. And even the leaves here. So it was just the Prima black and white flower mix. And I did the same thing for this. I did not spritz them with the Glimmer Mist, or the Perfect Pearls, I mean. But I did just spray them with the Distress Oxide sprays. Okay. In addition to that, we will be using some white flowers. These are from AliExpress, and I also have them in a teal color, but it wasn't quite the same color as this, so I did spray those. Tip. When you use the distress sprays, if you're going to be handling, like I was holding on to this wire stem here when I sprayed it, and I got this on my hands, and it took a couple days to wash off. So gloves are a good thing, unless you don't mind your fingers being colored. Now for the shadow part of this butterfly does not come with a shadow. So what I did was I took the die and I laid it out on my black cardstock, and I just drew around it. And then once I got that done, then I laid my other piece on the black cardstock to trace around just the antenna there and in the very tip of the wings, just to make so I could see where I need to cut. Then I hand cut this out. So that's where I got the shadow from. Now, if you are watching this video and you go to my eBay site and order a set of the butterflies, and you would like a shadow piece, I will trace on black cardstock one shadow for you and include it at no extra cost. You will have to hand cut it out, but I will trace it and get you that far. But you have to hand cut it out because of the price. My time is worth something, and it takes me quite a while to get these cut out, because then I have to make sure that everything is I'm not leaving any pieces stuck in for you to mess with. So if you're watching this video and you would like a shadow, I will trace out my die onto a black cardstock and get you ready so you can just hand cut it out at no extra charge. But I will only include one with the 3 butterflies. All right. But as a gift to you, if you order that, that's what I will do. All right, we have some, let's get this feels dry now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to paint this white and this color here, which is, where did I put it? Oh, like I used it for something, so I sent it. So this is just Laguna, and it's Apple Barrel 20562E. And that is the color I used. And we will go ahead and get some paper down here, so I'm not making a mess all over everything. And there is some black on there, and another color teal we're going to use, which is Anita's acrylic, and this one is light turquoise 335879, and that is Anita's. So that's also on my paper plate here. You can use a palette. You can just squirt it on if you want, however you want to do it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this going here. Let me wipe off my brush. Okay. So I'm going to start with my darkest. No, I'm going to start with my lightest one. Let's start with this one. And we're going to come in with this. I'm definitely going to need more, but we'll add more. And as you can see, it starts picking up those. I'm going to move this forward here. Just like that a little bit, so you can see that better. There we go. So I'm going to shake my paint, and I'm actually just going to squirt it right on here, because I know I'm going to need a bit. There we go. Not sure why that one does that. All right. So this is going to be our whole, oops, I just picked up one of my little beads there accidentally. This in there. So I'm doing the same kind of pouncing on those little pebbles, just to get it down in there. Okay. Now, because this texture here is a little rough, I want to make sure I get down on all sides of that. Kind of a twirly motion. And then back over it, make sure I don't have excess paint puddled up in there. And we're going to do the same thing here in this corner. And I will lift it for you, and we will probably have to dry this so we can keep moving along. And, you know, I like to prep things ahead, but you also need to see what I'm doing. So even though I don't like to sit and use the dryer and make all that noise, if I did all this, then you wouldn't see what I'm doing. I mean, I could tell you, but you wouldn't actually physically see it. So it's kind of a catch-22, you know. That one does not want to stay in there. So, and that might fall out. There we go. We'll see if he dries on there or not. Got to be kind of delicate because, oh yeah, I've got some. Probably some of the areas on the outside there where the stuff was a little bit thinner instead of thick to hold everything in. There we go. Get that. I'll finish up using what's on my palette. Paper plate, I should say. It's really not a palette, but I guess in a way it is kind of a palette, right? I'm using the paper plate as a palette. All right, so I'm going to lift this up. Oops. And as you can see, can you see the little white in there yet? So let's go ahead and get those covered up. And then up here, looking good there. Okay, I'm going to get my edges. Apparently the bottom. All right. Now I don't mind if I get paint on my fingers. If you're worried about paint on your fingers, then you can go ahead and wear your gloves. I'm not worried about the back being painted. Let's go ahead and add another little spritz of that there. And we're just going to Now paint typically dries pretty fast. It's usually not too bad. If you want to paint the back, you can, but I want to be able to sit mine back down, so I'm just not going to worry about that at this time. But if you would like to, when you're doing it, paint the back, you can, and I may go back after everything is dry and do it, or I may not. I'm not sure. Depends. If I sell this or put it up for sale, then I will finish the back color a little bit. But if it's just for my wall, no one's going to see it but me. And this, I'm doing this in the colors for my craft room, so it will probably hang on my wall. Whoops, let's get this going this way. Here we go. All right. Now, while that is still damp, I'm going to come in with my other blue, and I'm just going to start swishing some of this color in there so I get like a two-tone effect. Almost like clouds, kind of, right? And it does help that it's still wet. I just put just a tiny bit of water on my brush just to help, because it is warm in my room right now to assist in the drying part, but also dries everything up really fast. And this is just, there's no method to my madness. It's just to where I like the effects of it. That's all it is. We're going to be adding things here, covering things up, getting layers and layers and layers. Okay. So now I'm just kind of touching the sides here a little bit. Getting some of that effect on there. I'll show you just like that. Just, you can see it just lightly. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just a little bit here and there. And let's go ahead and get this edge here. And we'll go ahead and, whoopsie, actually taken. Gonna dab it on there. There we go. And then just streak it out there a little bit. Okay. All right. Lay that back down. And then I'm going to put a little bit more of this on there. Let's see what we got. I've got some. Let me see if we get a better look at this if I turn this light off. Nope, a little bit too dark. Okay, we got a little glare. We're just going to have to live with that. A little bit more water on my brush. All right. So drop it kind of heavy and then kind of spread it out. If it's too much, just kind of wipe it off. There we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to come in here and speckle that a little bit. You bring this out. Oops, bring that out into the light a little bit. There we go. So I'm just kind of speckling this gently with the, and if it leaves that speckle, that like the texture of patting it like that, that's fine. That just adds another element to what we're doing here. So I don't mind that so much. All right. Let's get some more in there. All right. Oopsie. I think the paint will hold those in. The only ones I'm having trouble with are the ones that were on like the edge. That, like I said before, probably just didn't get hit with the heavier amount of the glue stuff there, the matte gel. All right. I'm trying to get in closer to those so it doesn't look like I just stopped there. All right. So I'm going to lift this up and give you a better look of it. There you go. You can see the texture there and down there. All right. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Let's go ahead and move that brush in the water. And let's go ahead and give this a little drying. Again, I'm going to turn down my volume in hopes that will make it so it's not so loud for you. And I will be right back with you. Okay, there we go. Now I have, I don't know if you can see that. It is a embossing, and it's Lindy's, and I can't even see the color. Can't see the name of it on there, but it ends up being this silver and gold and black. So kind of like a metal effect. And I thought about maybe adding some of that to here. Problem is, when I did the sample, if you didn't, I can see it's on here too where I first tried it, but it wants to blow away. So we're going to try it, and hopefully it's successful. I'm thinking down in maybe this area here. So let me get my, this is just Distress Embossing ink. And I'm going to, let me see if I can get it down there. I gotta be able to see it. I'll hold my hand under there. I want a good amount, because if it doesn't have a good amount, then those little things won't stick. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Whoa, plenty. Okay, light. Okay. And it's just kind of a random shape here. All right, so I'm going to let those fall onto here, and then I can gather it back up later. So this is what we got, okay? All right, so I'm just going to kind of cover those up a little bit so that they don't heat up and melt all over. I got my tool. This is my embossing heat tool that I've been drying with. I've got it on high. So looks like it's not blowing. Whoop, a little bit. Just let it start to heat up there. I don't want to get too close because I don't want it to blow all that off. Once it starts setting, I can move in a little bit closer. But because it is such a grainy, there we go. It is so grainy that it wants to just kind of blow away. As you can see what's going on here. There we go. It's getting shiny. Getting shiny. So this particles around the side there. Okay. Now you can see. I'll show you this. All right. We're done with that. And other things are going to be added to this, so don't freak out that that's a big clump in there, because we're going to be layering things. So I'm just going to move this powder off to the side, and I will deal with that in a little while. It's out of my way. All right. So I think for the butterfly, we are going to kind of center that. I think he's going to go on in a little bit because I don't want him buried, but I think right in this general area here. Okay. All right. Now, this here is from Hobby Lobby's Christmas things last year, and it was $7.99, so I'm sure I didn't pay more than 50% of that. And it is kind of like a webbing with glitter on it. It's really cool looking. So I thought we'd use some of that. And I'm going to probably kitty corner that like that and wrap it around the back. Okay, so like that and like that. So let me get an idea and grab my scissors. I'm going to use my paper scissors, not my good scissors. And let's go ahead and get some hot glue here and get that going. It's been heating up, so it should be hot. Now I don't want that to be a big lump there, so I'm going to make sure that that's pressed down. Anything that hangs over the edges that I don't like, I can flatten down or slice off later. I'm going to grab something I don't mind pressing into there. Okay. It's just an old Cricut tool. I don't want it bumpy because then I don't want it standing away from the wall. So I want that glue to be kind of pressed down in there. Okay. Let that sit up just a second so that I can flip it over. Well, actually, I don't have to flip it over. I can do this edge. I just want to pull it tight. Let's get a look at it. Yeah, that looks good, right? And then I'm going to put more glue here. All right. Stretch this into that glue there without burning myself. Press, press, press. Make sure that it's holding good. There we go. Glue stick. Get that off while it's warm, and it should. I don't even know why I still have this one. I never use it. I never use it. It cuts the paper. All right. Oops. Whoa. Popped up. It's not hot, so it didn't burn me. But I don't want it. I don't want it coming up. I'm not holding that. All right. So that's that, and you can see the glitter in it. Okay. All right. I have, these are the flowers I can now. This one I just kind of fluffed up and scrunched a little bit, and you can see where I sprayed it and it left the white. I kind of like the looks of that. Might be too much. You have to excuse the phone. I'm not going to answer it. All right.
Call from Ventricuit Debbie.
Okay. I will call her back.
Call from Ventricuit Debbie.
So this one, white. And now with all the other teal on here, I might not use these ones that I've colored.
Call from Ventricuit Debbie.
Because it might just be too much. Might be too much. I want some of that little bit of gold to shine through. We've got this here. That one came off of its little, its stem came off. There we go. So we'll let that sit up a second. All right. So we've got this one here. And I'm just not sure what I want to do. Oops, that's still wet. All right, back in there. It's kind of like that. The white flowers. And I do have more of the white flowers. Let me grab them here and see if I just want to go with the whites because of that. To tone on tone on tone on tone on tone. You know. So let's try. Yeah, I kind of like that better. I'm just kind of scrunching them up so they don't look so, perfectly flat. All right. Yeah, I think I like that a little better. I don't mind the black. Get the black leaves here. So we can do a black leaf down here. See, when it's up on that black leaf, it's not bad. And then I have the small white ones. Again, these are from AliExpress. Let me grab my butterfly. We gotta know what we're doing with him. Okay, he needs a little bit more room. Okay. So I think now I'm going to lay my butterfly down. Let's pop him up on some dimensional foam here. Okay. I like the bigger ones to kind of hold it up a little bit because they don't like when things start to look like they warped a little bit, you know. Plenty of support. Plenty of support. All right. I think these I got from the Dollar Tree. No, they were not. They're Papery Shop. I'm not sure where I got them from. Hard telling. Probably one of my orders online. I don't remember, but I know the dollar store sells some too, so they are available for you. All right. Let's do one there. All right, that looks like plenty. Let's get all these papers off here. And I'm just pulling off the paper tabs here is all I'm doing. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. Just trying to find a level surface to do it. Just trying to find a level surface. Actually works better with my fingernail. Okay. I think I've got plenty on here. But I also want to add a little bit of hot glue to help hold some of these down. And I don't care about the little strings right now. If I see strings, we'll get them later. Okay. So let's put this right like that. Perfect. Gives it some dimension. All right, and then this, I just want to glue the center down and his antennae so that we can have that lifted a little bit too, giving that some three-dimension effect. Just a little art glitter glue. Let's get my words going here. There we go. We're going to place that right center there. It's going to dry. This will dry clear, so I'm not too worried about. And we could have added this before we laid that down. That would have worked too. Either way, whatever you're comfortable with. It's easier for you to slide that over just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. I'm going to let that dry a little bit before we mess with the wings too much. But this is what's going on right now. Okay. Let that set up some. Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and let's first. Now I have some twine, and I took the twine, and this is from Michael's, I believe, and it was their bead landing, but I think I got it on clearance, so I don't know if they still carry it, but it was these 4 colors, kind of that smoky blue, the pink, the natural, and then this mint color were all in this pack. It's 120 total yards, so, but it was in their bead department. Now I took my same paint, and I just had my gloves on, and I ran the paint with my fingers and colored this to coordinate a little better. Now what I want to do is I want to wrap it. I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to go from this corner. Do I want to go straight? Let's just take a look here and see what happens if we do kind of a, so we've got the mix here. Yeah, I think like that. Okay, so let me turn this over, and I'm gonna hit that with some glue, push that into it, right? And then I'm gonna cut this off here. So it's almost like a little bit of ombre kind of sort of effect. Not true ombre where you go from dark to light, but a similar effect. Nice and tight. That grabs. Okay. Gives us another textural element there. Okay. Then I think we're going to go, I have this piece of lace. I thought that would bring in some pretty white effect there. Oops, sorry. Let me move this stuff out of the way so we can get this gathered back here. Inside, there we go. Do we want lace in there? Sometimes I just don't. All right, I think I'm going to wait on the lace. I do have these 3 chipboard pieces that I chose, and they are from this pack. It is a Prima chipboard stickers, and it is Zella. So I chose Beautiful, Always Hopeful, and Love Conquers. So I think we're going to use those in here. Maybe like that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So these I'm going to use just hot glue on. They are sticky, but I like using the extra hot glue just to make sure that we've got good adhesion. And I can press on this because remember I've got that item underneath there helping me keep that stable. Okay. And we'll put Beautiful back over this way. Okay. Get you this way like that. Perfect. I like the looks of that. So there we go. We also have our other element, and I thought that would go good too because you've got the blacks and the silvers and grays, and then you've got the brownishes in here. So with this one now, it's got that sticker on there. I'm going to remove that. And we're going to put this on there, but let's get the flowers on first. So let's go ahead and do the black leaves, and things coming off the edge usually look pretty nice. I'm going to get some hot glue on here. I'm going to hold this in place really nice. And let's grab something that I can hold that with. Like that. And let's go ahead and add that on the top of that. Now this one is, I don't know if you can see it or not. There's little tiny blue flecks. Now I don't know if it was overspray when I had, but so it's got little flecks from when I sprayed the other ones. So, but that's fine. That is fine. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do this one like that, I think. Kind of on top of there. The black breaks it up. So we'll just let that glue kind of drip down in there. And we've got some glue strings, and that is fine. That is fine. We'll get them. We'll get them as it dries. And let's do, well, I'm going to use my scissors for these because my tweezer things are out in the kitchen. Not my tweezers, my nippers. Okay. So now, since we've got this other color in there, I might pull in some of this other teal and see how that looks instead of this one, which is going to blend right in. Sometimes you think, or sometimes I shouldn't say you, I should say it. Sometimes I think, okay, I want to coordinate these colors to be exact. But then as you start actually using them, it's like, wow, that's almost too much of that color. And, you know, it just doesn't look as good as you thought it would. And that's where I am today with those flowers being sprayed the same color. It's not enough of a difference to make it stand out for me. So, and now we've got just a tiny bit different color, but it looks good with this color over here. It looks good. I mean, it matches fine. Let's add. Okay, let's go ahead and add that there. And then a white one. We want to sprinkle the flowers kind of around a little bit. Okay. Okay, get that. And we may add just another one of these. Or maybe get this one in here now. Okay, let's do one of these now. Okay. Let's do that right there. So you've got all three of the colors there together. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and add one of those down here as well. And maybe like that. So let's just go ahead and set that there. Like so. All right. Okay, now we need our flowers at the top here. So I think we're going to go with this one, like that and that. Okay. Some more hot glue here. Get a good amount. Another glue stick here. Okay, it's coming together. I think it'll look pretty on the wall. And let's get some glue on this one here, like so. I'm going to press that one down in. I'm getting hot glue all over my scissors. Do this. There we go. All right. And let's come back in with this. And again, I'm just going to kind of bend these up a little bit, just to give them some little bit of character instead of just flat. Now I'm going to hold my stick, because when I first put a new stick in this little gun, it doesn't like to push in very well. Okay, like so. Okay, like that. And that looks cute. And let's go ahead. Oh, I know. We have some of this. Get a little bit more glitter in there. I can get this open. This is just, I got this at Hobby Lobby the other day, 50% off. So it's just your glitter tool, $3.99, so 50% off. So I paid about $2 for it. I'll show you this. This is still drying, but you can see how it's kind of translucent now. It's getting there. It's getting there. Translucent. Let's go ahead and cut a piece of this off. And let's kind of roll it up like so. Now this is probably, I'm going to guess 6 inches, but let's go ahead and I'll give it a measurement here. 8 inches. 8 inches. Oh, because it's 8 inches wide, I think. Is that what I did? 8 inches wide? What does it say? 6 inches wide, so I just cut it 8 inches. So I just tied a knot in the middle. Let's just tie another one. Okay. And then we're going to kind of open this up a little bit. Just get her open a little bit. Like that. Okay. Do the same over here. Just kind of try to get it open a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to tuck this underneath. Let's see. Like, let's see here. Maybe if I snip it. Let's just give it some, let's get some sharp scissors here. I'm just going to snip it. Give it some character here. Okay. There we go. Like so. All right. And we're going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to come right up the middle. Snip. Snip. Get out of the way. It sticks to itself. Pretty good. Okay. All right. So that gives it a little bit more character there. And then let's just kind of just to give it another texture. And then I think what we'll do, let me see here. Yep, I like it over here. Kind of tucked it a little bit. So I'm going to glue that underneath there. Just like that. Back underneath that leaf, like so. So it just kind of pokes out. Okay. So we got it poking out here and here. Cut it shorter too if you want. And now let's add another white flower. It's a white flower with speckles. Okay, so let's, oops, my glue again. Okay, dab of glue, and then I'm going to press this in here like so. Just like that. Just like that. And now let's grab, okay, let's grab another one of these. Lighter, natural, the color that I purchased. And let's just get it stuck on there. Okay. I'm just going to kind of hold this in place here for a second until it has a chance to set, and then we'll get our last one that we recolored, and let's put that one, let's get you up there just like that leaf. And then we need, I think, another white one here. Let's see, that will work. Let's put that here. We got a nice cluster there. Okay, now I have some silver sequins that were, oh, the glitter's getting all over from the, that's all right. Just some silver sequins I thought would look nice glued down. So I'm just gonna, it came in a package of, what did they come in a package of? Oh, they came in the package with those, with these. So let me grab some tweezers here. Some art glitter glue, and I'm just going to put random dots here and there. Start with those. And then we'll just lay the sequins in. Just another texture, another. And it doesn't matter what you use. We're just looking for different textures, different elements. So you find a few of your things that you've got. And even if you put them down and you paint over them, you'll still have that shape, that configuration, that 3D element that you've just added, even if it gets painted over. Okay, so you don't have to have the same exact things that I've got. If you want to make it exactly like mine, well, I would feel, but I want you to know that you don't have to have the exact things that I have to accomplish. Okay, let's see here. Let's add, yeah, let's add a couple more of those here. We need one here, got kind of a blank spot there, and maybe one there, and I think that'll be enough of those. Pick it up with my fingers first. Sometimes it's easier to pick it up with your finger and then put it down. Okay, one over here. Okay, so we got those. Whoops, get that off of there. Now our other piece here. Like that. Fills that in nice, doesn't it? Okay. Now, metal dries fast, so I'm going to put the hot glue here because it might dry too fast on the metal and not hold it. So and if that doesn't hold it for some reason, then I will use some glossy accents to hold it down, but that should hold it. So that's what we got so far. Yes. Now I do have these little glitter balls. Now these were inside of an ornament. I don't know if you've ever seen where Michael's has their grab bags. Well, we had, I think there were $5 grab bags, and there was some glass ornaments or plastic ornaments, and they were kind of a weird shape. So I just threw out the ornaments and kept these little balls and threw them in a bag. Sometimes they're nice just to have as a textural item. So let's see what we think of that. Putting some of these around here and there. Just another element. Something different. Again, I'm just using the art glitter glue, but if for some reason it doesn't hold, I will use the glossy accents. I like the different heights and the different textures, and just different elements. You could use pine cones and paint them. You could use just anything. There's just so many things in nature, little sticks, you know. That one's kind of flat. I got smushed or something. We're not going to use that one because it's, there we go. Yeah, look around nature and some little twigs, or everything has a, oops, there, we got a, so it's gone now, like a sequence. There we go. Goodness gracious. There we go. Okay, I think that's enough of those. I think that is good. I think it looks just fine the way it is. Now, Miss Lowy, who follows the channel, she's probably gonna say I overdid it. She won't say, she won't say it on there, but she will message me. But that's all right. We laugh about it because she'll say, I was telling you, no, don't put that there. No. But that's the nice thing about art, right? We do it how we like because we're the one that has to enjoy it. So that is it. I hope you give it a try. And like I said, go gather some things from outdoors or around your craft room and make it your own. If you don't have a piece of canvas, you could use some foam board that, like Dollar Tree has foam board, and you could cut that into whatever height and width you want and glue a couple of pieces of those together to get the thickness and use that. But they offer these pretty reasonable, like I said, $3 for the two of them, so pretty reasonable for being able to make a piece of artwork for your wall. So if you are not a subscriber, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. And if you do, go ahead and hit that bell when it pops up and you'll be notified each time I put up a new video. And for my subscribers that I already have, I sure do appreciate you. And always remember to hit the like button because that draws attention to my small little channel. But I hope you do give this a try. And as always, until the next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.